Hello everybody, Jay Barino here at StarCraft Remastered. Continuing Overmind, Eye for an Eye. We're almost done with this campaign, actually. Only 3 more maps. Primary Hive Cluster, Planet Char.
Behold, my long silence is now broken, and I am made whole once more. The cunning Protoss have dared strike down that which was immortal. For the Protoss who murdered Zahas are unlike anything we have faced before. These Dark Templar radiate energies that are much like my own, and it is by these energies that they have caused me harm. Yet shall their overweening pride be their downfall. For when the assassin Zeratul murdered Zahas, his mind touched with mine, and all his secrets were made known to me. I have taken from his mind the secret location of Ire, the Protoss homeworld. At long last, my children, our searching is done. Soon we shall assault Ire directly.
For now, we must ensure that the Dark Templar can cause no more harm. Celebrate. You shall set a trap for our foes. Kerrigan will lead them to you.
Alrighty, destroy the Protoss bases. Let no Dark Templar escape. There is an instant lose situation on this map if any Dark Templar makes it through one of the canyons. Okay, let's get started. You can move ground forces between colonies quickly using the Nidus canals. Let's actually do that. Send an Ultralisk and a Hydralisk to each of these. Got our Ultralisks now, too. They look a lot more menacing, I feel like. Okay, so here are our 3 canyons. This is, again, a little tricky only because it's instant lose if you fuck something up. Let's just focus on getting our econ going here. We have no tech, so we need a spawning pool and then a Hydralisk, and I'd like to just load up... I'd like to load up these areas with Hydralisks as soon as possible in the canyons. We have 3 canyons, and the 2 that are furthest away from us, there are expansions we can take near them, so that's kind of the long-term strategy we're going to use on this map. Again, I find this map to be a little tricky, so we should be okay, but as the enemy sends Reavers down each of these canyons, we may run into some trouble. What do we have going on here? Alright. Random Dragoon already. The AI is set in a way that it just sort of pokes and prods in these random directions. It's very interesting. Okay. Spawning pool. We'll get another hatchery up here if we can fit it. That probably wasn't the best place for the spawning pool, but that's okay. What we can do is make a hatchery in the canyons, though they may be unbuildable. Yeah, this is unbuildable ground, so we actually can't make colonies down here. Could be one way to help. I'd like to try to get some upgrades on these Ultralisks as well, like as soon as possible, so that they can survive a bit longer in these canyons, because they're going to be pretty crucial. And then Kerrigan down here. So, again, just going to get to a Hydralisk den, so that we can make Hydralisks, use them to take some extra bases. And which base I want to take first, I'm not sure. I'm thinking the one that's above this Hydralisk, or this hatchery, like up here. There's a ramp right here. There's a base right up here, which I think would be perfect. But it's also connected to an enemy base, so it may be better to take the one that's to the right over in this direction. I'm not sure. In either case, they'll probably get attacked mildly, so we'll keep an eye out there. Okay, spawning pool is done. I think I will have to check to see if I can fit another hatchery here, because we're really far away from the minerals over here on this side, unfortunately. At this point, all I can do is make drones. I would like to make some Hydralisks, but I don't think I can afford to do anything else except get my economy rolling a bit faster. We have an okay start here. I'll make a new save, as I've learned. Again, I still don't know if that's been fixed or not, so we'll just keep doing it this way with the delete.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, Zealot goes down. Bunches of Zealots and Zerglings are surprisingly effective against Ultralisks, which is a shame. I mean, there's no splash damage. There's none of that cleaving splash damage that StarCraft 2 Ultralisks do, so that's a big difference there. Yeah, building placement is just really silly, unfortunately. I think we'll go ahead and throw down that Hydralisk den. There we go. Getting my hotkeys messed up. Okay, now we got the Hydralisk den coming up, and then we will go ahead and just keep making drones here. I need to try to just get out as many Hydralisks as possible to make sure that Dark Templar don't escape. I don't even know if a Dark Templar has spawned yet. But But obviously our overlords can't die, because if they do die, then we're screwed. So we can remake them, but hopefully we have to do it in time so that they can't escape. In case like a big enemy attacks one of the canyons, and then suddenly they sneak a Dark Templar in while we're trying to reinforce and get another overlord through. Okay, this is good. What I'm going to do is just check my hatchery. I could fit another one here just to help with mining time. Actually, I don't think that's worth it after talking about all of that. Let's grab some basic upgrades here. I'm gonna get 2 Evo chambers and then more drones.
Require more minerals.
Okay, I'd like to start +1 upgrades, and then we're gonna start making Hydralisks at our outlying bases to defend. We need at least 2 down here to help as well. It's a bit of a shame. Usually when you well, actually, no, that's more of a StarCraft 2 thing, but once you unlock a new tech a new tech tier, like in this case it's Ultralisk, you start with an Ultralisk Den. You don't have any other tech, but you at least have that. That's not the case here. Okay, looking good. Let's just go ahead and start our Carapace upgrades, and then we'll start +1 missile attacks here, and then it's time for Hydralisks. I'm being very greedy at the beginning of this map, and I should not be. Because eventually we're going to see Reavers come towards these entrances, and it's going to be bad news. Wait, what? He just ran right by him. Not sure where these enemies are going. They may be going up to attack my other canyon area. Okay, doesn't matter. That's fine. You guys just stay. I heard evolution complete. I think that was a Hydralisk.
All forces are under attack.
Okay, no problem. No, I was going to say, just storm it. That would be silly, though. I'd like to get a few Hydralisks down here, just in case. So we have to wait for more money. I'm making Hydralisks over in this location so that we can start attacking that other base as well. It's very tempting to actually take these units and move them, but nah, I probably shouldn't. What I'll do is I'll bring the Zerglings instead as part of the attack, and we'll replace them with some Hydralisks down here with Kerrigan. It's risky, but I'll continue to do it. I'm just going to keep deleting so I don't stack up a bunch of worthless saves. Okay. And these Hydralisks will come and help Kerrigan. We didn't have a Dark Templar try to run its way through. And at least these Hydralisks will be +1, which I spent the money to do, but I need to take another base. That's absolutely crucial. But the 2 bases that are on this map that you can take... The 2 bases that are on this map that you can take are in... they're in positions that are defended by the Protoss. What I'm going to do is just get a backup Overlord over here, because we're going to need them anyway, so... Let's just go ahead and make double Overlords.
All forces are under attack.
Okay, that right there may have been a... that right there very well may have been a Dark Templar trying to escape. I don't know. Anyway, just waiting for Overlords. We're going to make some more Hydralisks to go and try to take this base over to the left. Zergling speed. Grooved spines would be nice as well. I have a decent number of drones around here, but I'd like more. Okay. Come on down here again. We've got the backup Overlords. That's good, just in case we see any of them trying to escape. I'm not sure in what situation where they would be able to kill all the Overlords and not my combat units, though, so that's kind of the most important thing. Okay. Hydralisk attack range. Meanwhile, we're going to continue building this force of Hydralisks. We're going to use them to attack this base, then we'll send them through the Nidus, and then come up here and attack this base. We'll take both at the same time. Meanwhile, we're just slowly getting upgrades. We just need to focus on our income. I just can't make units fast enough to reinforce as well. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. Let's just go ahead and grab melee attacks then. The attacks aren't huge, but eventually we're going to start seeing some Reavers, I think, which is the most frightening thing. Okay, make a layer. Let's go ahead and saturate this gas a bit better. Let's get some more Zerglings, and then we're going to go and attack to the right. I think we have enough. This should be enough, and we're also 1-1 on our Hydralisks, and at least get that +1 Carapace on the Zerglings. Again, this one's an interesting one, because it's the first map where you really need a lot of map control, just all over the place. So that makes it quite interesting. Again, obviously the Reavers are the thing that bother me the most. Okay, looking good. We've got the lair coming up. Okay.
Our forces are under attack.
Let's just make sure that we're safe here. Yeah, these attacks aren't bad. Okay, get in there. Alright, good work. Yeah, there's some scouts over here, so we've got the Hydralisks. Again, I'm just going to destroy this, take the base. Okay, great. And then you guys go through the canal, and we're going to go and take the other base now. It's really not that bad. You guys go through, and then we're going to keep these here. Drone, come and take this base, and the sooner that we can do this, the better. Okay, you all go through. And then we're going to make more Hydralisks down here. Honestly, the enemy attacks on the canyons have been no problem, so I'm fine with that. Okay, let's get a Queen's Nest. All of our tech is just going up in this location over here. Overlord movement speed seems fine. Okay, and then this should be enough. There's the geyser. That's what I'm talking about. Let's move on up here. We're going to take this base next. Drone. This is being built. Okay, let's get in there and take this base now. I'd like to start my hive pretty much as soon as possible. Okay, now this base is gone. We're going to leave 4 Hydralisks here as well. Let's just go ahead and throw these down, and we're getting attacked by something in our base. It's a scout. Let's just get on up here. These Hydralisks will stay. Okay, and let's send these back through the canal. Yeah, okay, this is good. Now we've got these coming up, and we just need to make lots and lots of drones. And that was actually a little dangerous because something could have slipped through there if we weren't careful. So now we're going to start. I'm going to grab spires here pretty soon. I think that's the right choice. You guys make drones. Yeah, we just need to saturate all this as soon as possible. And if we're mining on 3 bases, we're going to be in really, really good shape. But until we're there, until we're quite there, we won't be able to be as effective as I'd like. Okay, let's move these down here. Get mining. Get mining, buddies. Unlike the last couple maps, I'm actually quite focused on this one. A little more fast and loose on the previous ones, but again, anytime you have a more of an unforgiving instant lose situation, that's where I tend to be a little more diligent. Granted, we have been absolutely fine. We haven't even really come close to having any problems here. Rally up here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is throw down double spires very soon, and then I just want to start harvesting gas like crazy. Let's make this a spore colony, because we did see that a scout came in towards us. You guys come on up here and get mining. Should be able to get up there right when this is finishing. That's good. Overlords. More overlords. Let's go. And I'd like to start my +2 as well. Come on, overlords, really. I need them. Get mining. Extractor. Okay, so how do I want to destroy the Protoss base? How do I want to destroy the Protoss bases? Because I'm leaning towards Mutalisk. Just mass Mutalisk, some Guardians mixed in there. That might be the right choice. And maybe just a mix of forces. We could also, I mean, we can make Ultralisks now. The last 2 missions, I'm probably going to do a mix of forces as well, so why not kind of get in the habit right now? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and grab another Evo chamber, because now we're going to be mining like crazy. Okay, that was fine. Let's make some more Hydralisks to sit down here. Okay, let's get our hive. Not quite. Now we can get our hive. And we just need more and more and more and more drones. Drones for days. This is just a really slow starting map, because you start with no tech. And again, like I had mentioned, your buildings start in a weird spot, like your first hatchery. You don't have good income, so we're mostly just focused on not immediately losing at the beginning, and it doesn't allow us to really get an offensive foothold, which is the unfortunate part. More drones here. Okay, that's probably acceptable. What I'll do is grab one creep. We'll get one of each colony over here. That should be fine to defend us, I expect. Granted, when Reavers start coming in, then yeah, that'll be trickier. But for now, I think we're safe. I'm gonna get crazy with gas harvesting right now because we're gonna need it later, especially if we go double spire plus ultralisks. Surprisingly, not that much space over here. Okay, so let's grab the ultralisk cavern. We don't actually have a hive yet. It's almost done. Double spire is fine. Okay, and then let's grab all of our ground upgrades next. Can almost afford carapace as well. And for now, we'll just leave these hydralisks because we're really just waiting for cash, as I keep emphasizing. So much of this mission so far has just been waiting for money, and that's it. It's kind of it's one of my least favorite ways to approach a lot of missions, but this is just sort of the way it is. I played through the Terran campaign in like 2 days, which was awesome. Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, we need to go ahead and start making some more units here. Let's see if we can move. Let's just get these Zerglings up here. Creep colony's gonna delay. We just set up a couple creep colonies up here. You'll be a sunken colony. Okay, I don't think I ever got adrenal glands. We'll go ahead and grab some there. Protoss base is down here. So yeah, it's like you take a bit of a break and suddenly you're out of the groove. But I'm also sort of recalling how this just seems a little bit easier than previous iterations. By previous iterations, I mean StarCraft 1. I don't know what it is, but it just seems a little bit easier, doesn't it? Maybe that's just me. Greater Spire. Where do we want to attack from? Maybe up here? We can attack down this ramp, or we can just go up and around. I'm thinking we attack over here first. So what I'm going to do is start just making lots and lots of Zerglings and Hydralisks. There's a Dark Templar. Not doing as much damage as I recall. That I would expect them to be doing a lot more damage, but I guess not. That's fine. Zerglings and Hydralisks until we can start getting our Ultralisks, which are coming up now. Our Greater Spire's on its way. Okay, and there's really nothing else to do here, I don't think. Because it's going to be hard to rally down here unless we could use the Niduses. That would be fine. So just make Hydralisks. Having to, like, double up, like, go through this Nidus, then go through this Nidus becomes a little tedious. We have enough. I think we have enough buildings to really focus on that. We want adrenal glands. We're about there now, though, where we want to just start. We want to start going here. So we're going to go. Well, we need overlords, but I was going to say we're just going to need a lot of Ultralisks to tank Reaver hits. I think there's some High Templar here as well in these bases, but we still want to leave a couple units here to snipe any Dark Templar that might be coming through. Yep, Overlords seem to be the name of the game here. You can see our income, we're just flying now. There are no Ultralisk Cavern upgrades in the original StarCraft. Yeah, I took a bit of a break, though, from these, from playing just because we had some friends in town, and it's been really great. But one thing that's interesting about friends when they come and stay with you as opposed to just visiting, there's a big difference. Because when friends come to visit, if they're staying somewhere else, at a certain point in the night you say, goodbye, and then they go home. Or they go to like a hotel, or they go to wherever they're staying, and then everybody gets some time to sort of decompress. And I'm not saying, okay, so let me clarify. I love it when people come and stay, like especially, I mean, I wouldn't allow people to come and stay with me if I didn't want to spend time with them. So it's great because I tend to end up going to places in the city that I otherwise tend to avoid just because it's fun to show people, like, I love taking people to Times Square, but I hate going there for any other reason. Like, oh, you've never seen Times Square, let's go. But otherwise, it's just sort of a New Yorker's nightmare to be there. So we took them. So in that case, I do quite enjoy having people come and hang out, stay in our place, because you get to show them around, show them tour guide. But at the same time, again, when they're staying with you, they're with you from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. So you never have that time to sort of decompress. And if you're a bit of an introvert like myself, you need that decompression time. And it doesn't matter who it is. Again, it has nothing to do with the person, whether you like them or not like them. And in this case, I love my friends coming and hanging out with me, but it's just I need that decompression time from the social atmosphere constantly. But this trip that they've come in and they've hung out again, I've gone and been able to see some of the coolest stuff that I otherwise typically avoid. We went to a place it was kind of near Williamsburg, and if you're unfamiliar, Williamsburg, it's in Brooklyn. It's a neighborhood in Brooklyn, and it's widely known as like hipster paradise. So everyone down there has giant beards, and all the women wear like polka dot skirts and are tiny and petite, and with the thick glasses and artisanal mayonnaise shops, etc., etc. All right, and it's a nice little neighborhood, but you know it's like super hipster. Anyway, no offense to people living in Williamsburg, I guess. But sorry, I'm still making units up here. I think we're ready to go. I think this should be acceptable. We can try it. This should be okay. So we were in Williamsburg, and I said, you know, I actually haven't seen any hipsters. It was popping. It was like 10:30 at night, maybe closer to 11, and it was just popping. Everyone was out. It was a really, really nice night, and it just seemed like a really fun neighborhood. So I'm like, wow, I think I've been wrong about Williamsburg. So I turn to my wife and I say, you know, I have not seen a single hipster yet. And at that moment, a group of 3 people come driving by in a car, like a vintage car from like 1920. It's like one of the oldest cars I've ever seen in my life. Maybe it was a replica. I don't know. But that's exactly the type of thing you would see in Williamsburg. Like it wasn't an older person who was a collector. It was just a group of young folks driving around in this car that they probably actually just drive around with, and that's just their car. And that's Williamsburg. Okay, what? Are there 3 Reavers? Ow, ow, ow. We're also getting attacked at this moment. Okay, that's terrible, terrible timing. Also, you see all of these Reavers here. There were 3 Reavers in this base. All right, it's dead. Okay, and we're alive up there, so now we just have to rally up and finish the job. Wow, that was unfortunate. That was so many Reavers. That was ridiculous. Okay, let's bring in Overlord just in case the Dark Templar spawns. They actually spawn from the Nexuses.
I grew tired of slaughtering your servants. Have the mighty Templar lost their infallible courage?
Well spoken, concubine of the Zerg. But though we strike at you from the shadows, do not think we lack the courage to stand in the light. You would do well to abandon this attack.
You seem overconfident of your abilities, Dark One. I am no helpless Cerebrit to be assailed under cover of darkness. I am the Queen of Blades, and my stare alone would reduce you to ashes. You and your ilk cease to amuse me. Prepare yourself for Oblivion's embrace.
Okay. So they taunt each other just like Tassadar taunted her as well. And you only have to destroy the Nexuses in this map. So our Ultralisks were really the only thing that allowed us to do this properly. I'm going to make Mutalisks now to turn into Guardians. We're going to transfer all of our units up to go and attack the other direction now. Okay, that's unfortunate, but that's also because Teal is coming to save their own base, I think. Oh, sick micro by Jay Barina. Did you see that? Anyway, yeah, so the reason we were in Williamsburg, and this has been the highlight of the trip, it's so cool, was we found there's like a secret pinball bar. And what it was... Oh my god, fuck you, Reavers. We're gonna lose an Ultralisk. Yep, that's unfortunate. Okay, it was a secret pinball bar, and what it was in the back of a laundromat, and the laundromat on the front said pinball on it. And you walk in, and in the front of the laundromat there are a couple pinball machines, so you think, okay, this is the pinball. I'm saying from someone unsuspecting, who's unfamiliar with this type of establishment. And so you walk in, and there were actual people doing laundry. It was a legitimate laundromat. And you walk in, and then you see there's pinball machines on top of, and they're kind of like folded up, like decommissioned pinball machines on top of all the laundromats. And then you go to the back, and there's a washer dryer combo, and you can see through the window that there's like another room back there, and you can open up the whole thing like a door, and it leads to a small bar in the back that had probably 24 pinball machines. It was so cool. And I'm really happy that we found it and that I was talked into going. Because, again, we're like, Williamsburg's pretty far. I don't know if I want to make the trek. And I'm so glad we did because it was one of the coolest things I've ever been to. And it was hard to get to because it was northern Williamsburg and there's no train that goes there. So you have to take the L and walk like 20 minutes. But we were already in Brooklyn, so we just took an Uber, and then we walked to the L and took it home. But it was just it was really, really neat, and I'm really glad that we went because it was one of the neatest things. Again, it was like they purposefully made it so that unless you knew it was there, it wasn't something, unless you lived in the neighborhood, you would really have no reason to find it. And the only reason that we did is because one of the friends that has come and visited us is a big pinball buff, and he read about it somewhere. And it wasn't busy. It was just like a neighborhood thing, which is, I think, one of the best parts of that type of establishment. Because when you come to New York, you're like, oh, I'm going to see the Statue of Liberty. I'm going to see Ellis Island. I'm going to go to Times Square. I'm going to go to Rockefeller Center. It's just tourist central. So when we have friends that come in, it's important that, you know, we can hit that stuff when they come. But what I really enjoy, hit those destinations when they come. But what I really enjoy is taking them to neighborhoods that aren't overcrowded, because it's just, you know, like Brooklyn neighborhoods, or even like Upper West Side, Upper East Side of Manhattan, that are just not tourist central. So you can get some of the local food and just really enjoy yourself there, and not just be inundated by loads and loads of people. And sure, we did go to Times Square, and we went and saw a Broadway show. My wife and I saw Chicago, and they went and saw Anastasia, which is pretty new. So I mean, Chicago's an oldie but a goodie, but I'm just glad that we took the time to do all that stuff. I see blue going up there, so I think we have enough here with Kerrigan. We should. Anyway, let's go ahead and delete this and do one more new save and go and attack the last base. I think I've taken more time than I needed to on this map, but that's okay. Building up a little bit, having some fun. I actually don't even think... Is this the base we have to destroy, or is this... Oh, good God. Where did this Archon come from? Ah! No. Can we... Oh, my God. Stop it. Kill those. Yeah, this isn't even the base we have to destroy, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, it's something about the local stuff, and it's not crowded. When you go to Times Square, it's just... If you're even mildly claustrophobic, or you don't like being surrounded by that many people, you will not do well. It is like a nightmare of people. And it's, you know, people try to hand you stuff. There's a lot of scams. A lot of that's been cleaned up lately, but when I moved here, it was pretty bad. Just people that try to hand you stuff, and you instinctively try to take it, because as you're walking by, you won't even be looking at them, but they will try to push something into your hands, and again, you kind of instinctively try to take it. And let's just rally on down here. I don't see any... Okay, I was going to say, I don't see any Reavers, but there's 2 Scarab Blasts. We need our Ultralisks. Our Ultralisks and Guardians to deal with that. Guardians, can you please come up here and try to kill these? Because all of our Hydralisks have been massacred because of Reavers. These bases had 3 Reavers apiece in them. That's crazy. I guess that's what happens when you leave the AI alone. Just destroy the Nexus so we can complete this, please. Okay. No, maybe not.
Now, Protoss, you shall know my wrath. Now you will know the fury of the Queen of Blades.
All right, and that's the last we hear of Kerrigan until the epilogue text. But anyway, yeah, you only have to destroy the Nexuses. I forgot that there's a bit of a lag time between the actual objective completion and then the victory trigger. Anyway, another way to do this map very quickly is to spam Mutalisks, and you can just snipe the Nexuses. You don't have to worry about Reavers, and you don't have to worry about... Well, maybe High Templar. You'd get stormed, and you're clumping up those Mutalisks. But other than that, you just go in and snipe the Nexuses. But if you're going in blind, you don't realize that that's a way that you can complete this map. Similar to the Trump card, where you can just defense matrix. I'm just going to avoid those types of strategies and pretend as if I was playing this and just playing fairly legit. You know, it's like semi-RP, but not really RP. Anyway, we've done it. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I will see you next time. Bye now.